Hello there, it's Jackie here. This is my reminder to all of you that I have just a couple seats left in probably one of the biggest events that I'm actually holding this year. It's the combination course, which is Access for Animals and Humans. So two classes in one at an incredible price. Now I'm teaching this online, live, and it starts September 25th, 26th, 27th. The birds are outside having a party in case you can't hear that. And these are half days. So for those of you that live on the east coast of Australia, it's going to be running from 1 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on the Friday and the Saturday, and we'll finish just a tiny bit earlier on the Sunday evening. Now on the events page, I actually have some different times that apply to different time zones if you're curious about, well, I live in Japan, or I live in Singapore, or I live in New Zealand, or Perth, or wherever it is, what time does that apply to me? So I've put that down there. That's easy for you to be able to get your head around what that looks like for you. But of course, you can always use a time converter app and put in the times, and it will convert it to your time zone so that you can see what that means for you. And I've sat up plenty of times during the night doing courses. So if you're a bit of a night owl and don't mind staying up late night, then you can definitely do that. Just want to let you know, this is not a webinar. It is not going to get recorded, and you will not get a copy of the recording. So it's not one of these things where you can sign up and go, oh, well, I'm not going to be available anyway, so that's all right, I'll just get the recording. It's not that. This is a course. It is a live class. Now, historically, Body Talk courses, because that's what this is one of our wonderful courses that comes from the massive, great big Body Talk system. Historically, these get taught live at some location around the world. And as an instructor was, like myself, was able to come into an area, say Singapore, then the people in that area who wanted to take the class with me would come. You'd do your travel and your accommodation and organise your work and your kids and all that kind of thing. And because obviously of what's been happening, we've had to completely reassess and redo the way that we do these courses. And that brings us to a really unique opportunity where we've completely reformatted the entire class to be able to teach it to you online and to make sure that your experience of this class is the best that it possibly can be. And if you've ever been to a class of mine, then you'll know that it's a bunch of fun. So that still stays the same. We're still going to have a bunch of fun. Still going to make really good friends with each other, still going to have those connections long after class, still going to have the support long after class. But it does mean that, yes, you need to be present for the 3 days. It does mean that it will not be recorded so that you get a recording of it. First, for new students, you get a manual, a beautiful manual for Access for Animals and Access for People sent to you after class. So if you're a new student and you've not done either of those classes before, because they do get taught separately, I sometimes teach Access for Animals on its own, and then I sometimes teach just Access for People on its own. If somebody asks me, or I get a lot of people asking for just the people version, then I'll go ahead and teach one of those classes. But usually I teach it as a combination class because that's the one that I get asked for most, and it's a very, very powerful class. I always see people going through huge, big shifts and changes within themselves, in their awareness, in their understanding of the way that they work, healing works, responses from animals work, all those kinds of things. And it's really a beautiful thing to see. So we're going to have the same thing happening in this class as well. But if you've not taken either of those classes, then that means after class, you're going to get sent a manual, beautiful color manual, that's for the animal portion of Access and the human portion of Access. Let's just say for a second that you have done Access for Animals at some point in the past, but you've not done Access for Humans. Then you'll get the Access for Humans manual sent to you, and vice versa. Okay. Now, if you're a monitor and you've done both those classes in the past, yes, you can still join. Anybody can join, but it means that you won't need to get a manual sent to you because you'll already have one from the first time that you did it. Every time you do a body talk class for the first time, you always get the manual that goes along with the course material. And I especially love those because I love reading through and reconfirming the information. And I'm also a massive note taker, so I tend to scribble in my manuals and highlight the crap out of everything. So that's the lowdown on this class. It is happening in just a few days' time. I really want you to have the opportunity to join me, especially while we have the prices as low as what they are now. And those prices really are reflective of what I'm hearing from people in the environment, how tough some people are doing it, and also because I'm well aware of what's been going on environmentally for all of us. So intuitively, I felt like we needed to do a discount on top of the discount. So they are super discounted in case that's not clear. The other thing is, this is the lowest price it's ever going to get. So as life improves, as we all get stronger and life reframes itself and people start to return to work, then the value of the course will reset itself again. So I just want you to be aware of that. If you've ever thought about taking this class, now's the opportunity to do that. Yes, you can pay for it using your credit card. I always get people asking me about that. You can use whatever card you like. Yeah. So that's fine. You'll also get a completion certificate emailed to you that shows that you've completed and done the work, and now that you're an Access for Animals and People's person, you're part of the community, and you'll also get some great follow-up support and get introduced into the wider global community that is Access for Animals and People. Okay, so very, very quickly, for those of you that don't know, Access for Animals and People actually comes from the Body Talk system. And the Body Talk system is a massive, huge, integrative healthcare system that's based on consciousness. Now, when you come to class, I'm actually going to take you into the principles of Body Talk and what it is that we do in the Body Talk system. And that's really important because it gives you the basis, all the scaffolding, the framework for what you're going to be doing with these access techniques and how you're going to be applying them to your family members, yourself, and your animal family members as well. You can do this on friends, you can do it on extended family, and you can help facilitate it for their friends. Well, I was going to say they're furry friends, but sometimes they don't have fur, they have feathers, right? Or scales or whatever it is. But you can definitely facilitate the access techniques for friends, animals. I'm going to teach you a ton of different ways to be able to do that. And what we're going to be learning is you're going to be learning the access program and protocol as it applies to people, and the access program and protocol as it applies to animals. And they're done quite differently, and I'm going to explain to you in class the reasons why. And that's very, very important to know because it has a lot to do with animals and the way that their nervous systems work and how it's completely different to us and our response in our nervous system. The other thing is that the techniques that I'm going to be teaching you, they're very specific and they're very powerful techniques that are taken out of the Body Talk system, and they are wrapped together in this program, and they are done in a very specific order. And the reason for that is because they are optimized to address either the person's or the animal's entire body-mind complex in a very holistic way. So we see major changes coming for people and for animals just by implementing these access techniques on either a daily or even a weekly basis. It makes a huge amount of difference to stress levels, to happiness, to anxiety, to performance issues, to concentration issues, to hormone imbalances, nervous system disorders, musculoskeletal imbalances, microbiome imbalances. There's so many things. I seriously can't wait to tell you. I only have a few more places left in class. I'm deliberately keeping numbers capped, especially for my first time teaching this online. I know I've taught it so many times all around the world live, but I really want this first experience to be the best experience that it can be for you. So I'm capping numbers. Yeah, we're going to utilize breakout rooms. We're going to do lots of fun practice together, and we're going to be incorporating animals while we do that. So I'm pretty excited. If you feel like you want to be one of them for this epic first time event, then I encourage you to do that. Grab your seat while it's still there. If you're a first timer, then look for that first time new student ticket at the super discounted reduced price. Once the allocation for those that I've put in there has been sold, it automatically will disappear and it won't be there. And the next level of tickets will be available. So it's first in, best dressed. That's the honest truth. If you've done access for animals and people before, then you're a repeat student, you're a monitor. So choose that one as it applies to you. There is a heavily discounted price for people who are non-IBA members, and IBA stands for the International Body Talk Association. And there is an even further discounted price for IBA members who are monitors. Now, if you have any questions at all, please pop it into the comments, send an email through to the office at info@JacquieMcIntyre.com. Nearly lost my breath on that one. And don't forget, we've only got a couple of days. So don't now table this and go, okay, I'd love to do that, but I'm going to do it later because I've got to go do here. Don't do that. Follow through right now, right? I know what that's like. I do that. So just follow through right now. Sign up, register, commit, then you'll get an email from me letting you know all the details and how you're going to get into class, and it's going to be so much fun. By the way, for those of you that are wondering how we do this online, we're going to be using Zoom. So Zoom is a free application. You can download it. You can put it on your computer. You can put it on an iPad. You can even put it on a phone. I would recommend for class that you put it on a computer, a laptop, whatever, desktop, whatever you want to use, or an iPad at the very least. I don't think you're going to get the full benefit if you're doing it through your phone. But hey, you might be used to that, right? And you're also going to need to be able to put yourself somewhere where you know you're not going to have lots of distractions and getting disturbed all the time. So again, if you've got any questions, just yell out. I look forward so much to teaching this and seeing you all very soon. Bye for now.